Hello there, RNs! For today's video, pag-uusapan natin guys, blood thinners, anticoagulants, antiplatelets, thrombolytics. Let's go! Ang daming pangalan, no? Pero for the sake of this video guys, tatawagin natin silang collectively as blood thinners. Now, let's go! Ang blood thinners guys, hindi siya specifically nagpapanipis ng dugo, diba? Blood thinners actually, they prevent clot and at the same time, pine-prevent nila yung pag-grow ng clot na currently nandun na. Okay? So, yan yung definition of blood thinners. They prevent the blood from clotting and also, ipe-prevent din yung naklat na blood na currently para mag-grow. Simple lang. So, sir, ano ba yung mga blood or ano ba yung mga diseases that causes clots in our blood? Okay, that's a very good question. Number one, we have deep vein thrombosis. Number two, we have pulmonary embolisms. We have atrial fibrillation and sometimes post-operative patients. Yes, yung mga patients after surgery, prone sila guys for platelets na mag-form as clots. Okay? So ito yung mga diseases and conditions. Marami pa actually. Pero ito yung very common na nagkakos ng magkakaroon tayo ng blood clots. Anyway, dito na guys. There are 3 levels of blood thinners, okay? Iisa-isa natin siya. Pwede siya type or kinds, pero for me, it's 3 levels, okay? Number 1, level 1, which is called the antiplatelets. Number 2, or level 2, which is called the anticoagulants. And level 3, which is the thrombolytics, okay? Guys, yung level 1, sa pangalan niya palang antiplatelets, medyo mild lang yung effect niya. So, these are drugs na tinatawag na aspirin and clopidogrel. Sa pangalan niya pa lang guys, antiplatelets. Pinapanipis nila yung pag-form ng platelets. Diba? Yung mga platelets, they clump sometimes and they form clots. So, ang gagawin ng aspirin at clopidogrel, which are antiplatelets, i-prevent nila yung aggregation of platelets. Okay? Para hindi mag-form ng clot. So, ang i-check dito ng mga laboratory guys are platelet and hemoglobin. That's for level 1. Punta na tayo guys sa level 2 which are the anticoagulants. Kilalang-kilala natin to sila guys, si heparin and warfarin at ikaw pa rin. Diba? Ang pinakasikat na heparin and warfarin, these are anticoagulants. Level 2 sila guys kasi medyo medium yung strength nila. Hindi sila ganun ka-weak like aspirin and clopidogrel pero hindi sila as strong as the level 3. Anyway, before tayo mag-proceed sa level 3 guys, yung anticoagulants which are heparin and warfarin guys, yung i-check natin na laboratory dito, labs, are INR, International Normalized Ratio, we have PT or prothrombin time, and lastly, the APTT, which is the Activated Partial Thromboplastin time, APTT, okay? Don't worry, i-expand natin yan later. So, ang level 3 guys, ito yung pinaka-malakas talaga sa kanila na blood thinner. Ito yung tinatawag na mga thrombolytics. Examples nito are TPAs or the Tissue Plasminogen Activator, Altiplase, Streptokinase. Usually, yung mga nag-end sa ACE na yan. Streptokinase and Altiplase. So, ito guys yung level 3, yung pinaka-malakas talaga. Ito yung may highest risk for bleeding kasi super lakas ng blood thinner na to. So, alam na natin guys yung 3 levels of blood thinners. We have the antiplatelets, anticoagulants, and blood thinners. Pare-pareho lang yan sila guys ng purpose, pero syempre, iba-iba sila ng strength level. I hope that's clear. Before tayo mag-proceed guys, let's have a review on the normal values or the normal levels of platelets. As we all know, it's 150,000 to 450,000 yung levels of platelets. So, tandaan to nurses. A level below 150 is risky. Medyo may risk na for bleeding. A level below 150 is already risky, but 75 or 50,000 below is deadly. Ito na yung magkakos na mag-bleeding ang pasyente. So, dapat i-control yung pagbigay ng mga anticoagulants, heparin, warfarin, at mga blood thinners. Okay? So, i-check palagi yung platelets kasi ito yung basihan if prone sa bleeding yung pasyente. At kapag mababa ang platelets, guys, prone sa bleeding ang pasyente and it's very deadly. So when this happened guys, ano yung gagawin natin as a nurse? Kung nagbibigay tayo ng mga blood thinners tapos na-notice natin na oh my gosh, the platelets are actually going down. So the first thing we need to do is stop or hold the medication tapos i-report natin sa physician. Or may mga scenario minsan na mababa na nga yung platelets tapos nag-prescribe ulit yung doktor ng heparin, ika-question natin yung order kasi hindi na pwede kasi mababa na yung platelet levels eh. 'Di ba? So we have to be careful with that. At dito na papasok guys yung prioritization principles. 'Yan. So you know what to do ha if mababa ang platelets. Magfo-focus tayo guys sa mga anticoagulants which is sa level 2, yung sikat, heparin and warfarin. Si heparin guys, yung pinakakilala dito is enoxaparin or Lovenox. Malalaman mo naman siya guys na heparin yan eh. Kasi yung pangalan pa lang, enoxaparin. Heparin, enoxaparin. Diba? Yung word na parin. No? Tsaka yung heparin guys, may tinatawag tayo na low molecular weight heparin. Ito yung low molecular weight is more stable at tapos medyo less yung bleeding tendencies ng pasyente. So guys, yung low molecular weight heparin, ginagamit to guys sa mga pasyente na may chronic na kondisyon. Halimbawa, yung patient diagnosed siya with DVT. So anytime pwede siya mag-form ng clots. So kailangan siyang bigyan ng low molecular weight heparin. Chronic na yan. Forever na yan na therapy niya. Okay? Kasi yung low molecular weight heparin is ginagamit siya for patients na may chronic na condition na talaga. Pero kapag baguhan pa lang, nagbibigay talaga ng heparin. Next is the warfarin or Coumadin, no? Alam na natin yan, warfarin, Coumadin. These are all anticoagulants. So, ang mahalagang tanong, guys, na lumalabas sa board exam and sa NCLEX. Who's talaga, no? What is more fast-acting? Sino daw yung pinaka-fast acting sa kanila? Si heparin or warfarin? Let's know this. Guys, ito yung nakalagay. Sabi dito, heparin acts in a hurry. So, fast acting si heparin. Again, heparin acts in a hurry, fast acting. Warfarin has a weaker start, slow. Okay? Tandaan yan ha. Heparin is fast, warfarin is slow. Heparin is given via injection. So, gets mo na. Bakit mabilis si heparin? Kasi binibigay siya guys IM and IV. Diretso sa muscles, diretso sa ugat. Hindi pwede ibigay si heparin guys sa orally kasi nga hindi siya na-metabolize ng maayos doon. Okay? So, heparin acts in a hurry. Warfarin has a weaker start. Slow si warfarin, binibigay siya by pill per RM. Okay? Heparin, IV or IM, warfarin per RM kasi nakatableta siya or capsule. Si warfarin guys, ginagamit siya for long-term therapy din. Long-term therapy with anticoagulants. And always remember nurses, hindi to binibigay sa mga pregnant patient because warfarin is teratogenic. It can kill the fetus. So ano ba yung mga laboratory examinations na titinang natin when our patient is undergoing blood thinners, anticoagulants, thrombolytics, and antiplatelets? Number 1 guys, we have the INR or the International Normalized Ratio. Kung tatanungin kayo guys sa board exam, ang INR para kanino yan? Kay warfarin. Si International Normalized Ratio, tinitingnan niya yung level of warfarin. Okay? INR, warfarin. Ang normal range nito guys is 2 to 3, pero kapag ang patient meron siyang mechanical heart valves, nakalagay doon sa problem, 2.5 to 3.5 yung therapeutic level niya. Next, we have the PT or the prothrombin time. Ulit, si PT, prothrombin time, sino yung chinecheck niya? Si warfarin. Okay? INR, warfarin, PT or prothrombin time, warfarin. In other books, guys, si PT tsaka si INR magkapareho. Pero in other books, dinidifferentiate siya. So, lagay na lang natin as difference, pero pwede naman silang magkapareho. Ang normal range ni PT is 11 to 13 seconds. Lastly, APTT. Charot lang. Oy, alalahanin mo yan ha. APTT. Activated Partial Thromboplastin Time. Sino yung chinecheck niya? Si heparin. APTT is for heparin. INR on PT is for warfarin. Ang normal range ng APTT is 46 to 70. I hope klaro tayo dyan guys ha. And make sure maalala mo yan kasi mabilis lang yan. Magigets mo na lang lahat. That's for our laboratories. So kapag nagtitake nurses ng blood thinners yung pasyente, we need to teach them, we need to teach them, close-ended, not to teach patients taking blood thinners, anticoagulants, thrombolytics. Number 1 guys, dapat alam din nila yung mga drug antidotes. No? As nurses, alam natin yan. Of course, yung patient din. Our antidote for heparin, alam na natin when there is heaven, there is peace. Heaven, there is peace. Heparin, peace, protamine sulfate for P. In heaven, there is peace. Pag warfarin naman, when there is war, there is killing. K, vitamin K. Warfarin is for vitamin K. Minsan guys, hindi nila nilalagay dyan na vitamin K kasi gusto nila tayo ma-confuse. Minsan nakalagay doon aquamepython or phytonadione. Huwag kayong magtaka dyan. Phytonadione guys is vitamin K. Okay? Yan yung other name ni vitamin K is phytonadione. Tapos si phytonadione, pwede siyang maging brand name na aquamephyton. Lumabas yan sa board exam and make sure lang na alam mo yung other names. Okay? So, alam mo na yung drug antidotes. Number 2, guys. Of course, blood thinners yung binibigay natin. Risk for bleeding talaga yung pasyente. So, dapat turuan natin sila to avoid NSAIDs or the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Example, aspirin, antibiotics, alcohol, tsaka mga mouthwash. Especially mga mouthwash na alcohol-based. Kasi nga, may risk yan for bleeding, nasusunog yung gums or skin, so mag-bleed yung pasyente, di ba? Gently brush your teeth kasi nga prone sa bleeding ang mga ganito. Kapag magsugat yan, magbi-bleed lang yan. Avoid contact sports. That is very self-explanatory para ma-avoid ang injury. Avoid mo yung mga rugs. Baka mas-slide yung pasyente, mabagok, magka-bleeding. Alam mo na yan guys. Use of electric razor kasi di ba kung manual na razor, sumusugat, baka mag-bleeding. Tsaka wear a medical alert device if nagkakaroon ng risk for bleeding at nag-change in LOC or loss of consciousness. So yan yung guys, dahil risk siya for bleeding, common sense tong mga bagay na to. Kapag nagtitake yung patient natin, nurses ng warfarin, turuan natin sila to avoid eating too much vegetables, green leafy vegetables. Bakit? Guys, keyword is too much ha. Too much green leafy vegetables will activate vitamin K. Kasi nga, ang green leafy vegetables, guys, marami yung vitamin K. Okay? Marami yung, it's rich in vitamin K. So, that will counteract the medication. So, parang binibigyan mo siya ng antidote. So, hindi mag-work yung warfarin, di ba? So, kailangan avoid too many. Next, kapag nag-heparin naman yung pasyente, turuan natin sila na sa subcutaneous tayo nag-i-inject 2 inches below the belly button at a 90-degree angle, tapos bruising may occur. So, if may bruises dyan, or namumula, or nagkaroon ng pain after injection, that is normal. Unless nag-bleeding, okay? Pero kung may mga bruising lang naman, normal lang yan. May pain, may bruising, may redness, that's normal. Never massage, guys, yung site na in-injectan ng heparin. Okay? And that's it, nurses. Yun lamang yung sa blood thinners natin. I hope may natutunan ka today and don't forget to share this video sa lahat ng classmates mo who will take the board exam in NCLEX and PNLE. I'm rooting for you, nurse, and registered nurse ka na this year.